Okay, yeah, here we go. Looks like we are live. Now we're live. Okay, good, perfect. Welcome, everyone. This is the Saturday morning Team Certainty and Power Network Saturday morning questions and answer session. Welcome for checking in with us now after watching this live or catching us on a replay. We're going to go a half an hour, typical Saturday morning here. We actually have a lot of time this Saturday morning and some great, wonderful, unbelievable great news we're going to announce, here in about 2 minutes. Football season starting, and Gary Smith will be here hopefully, to get with us this weekend. But I have with me Mr. Iron Dan Richards. How you doing, Mr. Iron Dan Richards?
Good. Doing great.
Okay,
doing great. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you this Saturday morning. And just want to let viewers know, I say this every time. We do these Google Hangouts twice a week. We do it this time period from 11 a.m. to 11:30 Central Time Saturday mornings. This is a little more casual, as you can see, workout clothes, and we do questions and answer for prospective new members and some current members as well. We got a whole lineup of questions up on the board that we'll be asking here in just a few minutes, or actually discussing here in just a few minutes. And we also do Google Hangout for prospective new members on Wednesday evenings from 8 to 9 Central Time here in the United States, and that's for prospective new members, and whether you're on one of our YouTube channels, broadcast page, or possibly even listening on one of the radio stations we broadcast on the internet. Thanks for taking the time this morning. And whether you're watching again on replay or live, thank you for taking the time to check in with us today. And we'll get this thing started here in just a minute. Do you have some comments? Something you were about to say, Mr. Richards?
Oh, just it's a great Saturday again, and I know we're going to be doing some really good things, and the news you're going to give here in a few minutes is going to be outstanding for everybody. And
well, I can't wait for the news anymore. I got to give them the news now. The good news is the American football season starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm just joshing everybody, but yeah, it really does. There's a Hall of Fame NFL professional football starts tomorrow, and of course nobody wants to hear about it, but except for me, and a few other people. But it's a Hall of Fame game. The Giants and Buffalo.
Buffalo.
So yeah, Buffalo and Giants. It's kind of interesting too because they're going to do the induction of the Hall of Fame. It's kind of a lot of pomp and circumstances, really, but it is a kickoff of the season, the football season. And college, really, I really like college a lot more than I like pros, and watching it. And the college season doesn't even start till Labor Day weekend, which is a month from now, September, first part of September. So we got a whole full month of August of NFL preseason games and stuff, but that's fine. And then Labor Day starts college, and that'll be a lot of fun. So, and one of the things I do during my, this window of time, for me at least, is when I do a lot of traveling, and I'll tell you, this Empower Network in Orlando, Orlando event, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit because there's some information we need to disclose about that. I'm planning on going to a couple games while I'm down there.
Mm-hmm.
But when I travel, I always travel around, games like, okay, who's playing who? I say, well, I'll schedule my Los Angeles trip to watch, Southern Cal play UCLA or Nebraska play, Oklahoma or something, when I'm traveling, whatever. But it's always fun to hit these games and do things. So anyway, we can go ahead and get started. Any comments, any local stuff you need to chat about, any news, Mr. Iron Dan Richard?
No, I'm just praying for all those in Israel, that they're safe and things kind of get settled down. And those folks in Ukraine, prayers go out to you too. I'm hoping that things get kind of eased out. The wild thing about the Ukraine crash, though, or that incident was, it was flight MH17.
Yeah.
And it was on July 17th.
Interesting.
Yeah, everybody, some people haven't put the linked it together, but it's a 1717. It's a weird deal, but and it's not funny. I mean, it's tragic. Those people lost their lives. But,
yeah, the other big scare is going on is this Ebola.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm pretty up to speed on what that thing disease can do. You know, and it isn't pretty. I mean, it's probably the most horrible type of way to die you could ever imagine. You know, and you know, it's the only good thing about it is you die pretty quick. You know,
Yeah.
but it's the most unbelievably horrible way to die. You know, it's hard to imagine just about anything worse. But you know, pray for those people over there. That's for sure. And you know, all the people are helping them too. I mean, they're contacting the disease as well. It doesn't seem to be getting, you know, any better. But you know, hopefully when it, you know, they do some other things that, you know, they'll get it under control. But in good news. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We got a lot of good news with us, at least. You know, here with Empower Network, a lot of good stuff. You know, the Empower Network event. You know, here is in October. The tickets just went on sale. They're in your back office. I went and purchased mine. I got my suite there at the Hyatt there in Orlando. So we're all set. You know, team members, leaders wise, and we're all good to go. And you know, and some things. Hopefully, they'll reinstate or not reinstate. They'll get back to that 200 top 200. You know, members and get some things started. And by the way, while I got you here, you know, Mr. Iron Dan Richards, when this hangout is over, I do need to talk to you about a couple things.
Okay.
You know, that we're going to be doing, you know, for Orlando, and you and I specifically.
Yeah.
That I need to kind of go over with you so that I can begin to implement them or get the ball rolling at least on Monday.
Okay.
So yeah, good stuff. So anyway, let's go ahead and not, you know, drag out the, you know, viewers any longer. Let's go ahead and get to the questions. You go ahead and ask the first one. You know.
Okay. Let's get you a good one here. Well, because we're talking about Orlando, do you have an update on the Orlando?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there are people will be always asking that question, and we should be updating it every week. You know, just in what I just said, you know, yeah. David Wood sent out an announcement the other night that the tickets are available, and the numbers that he gave out were that, you know, within a couple hours 1,000 tickets were sold, which doesn't surprise me. You know, I don't know how many people they have there, but I don't know if they'll have more than they had in Denver. You know, Denver, there was about 6,500 there, but there's been a little drop off of participants in Empower. So, you know, hopefully they're shooting for that amount or more. I don't know. Maybe they'll have more. Maybe it'll be 10 or 15,000. I don't think it'll be, you know, 15, but it could push the 10 number. Yeah. You know, I hope it does. You know, the more the merrier. I mean, when you get around those many people with that, the same kind of, you know, entrepreneurial spirit, you know, it's magic. And the more the merrier. You know, so we'll see. But, you know, other than that, let me think. Yeah, it's $147 a ticket. It's a steal. The tickets will probably go to $250, $299, something like that. There is a VIP ticket on top of it you can buy. You know, and recommend that, you know, for people going for the first time and to see it from the front row. You know, unless you're one of the top affiliates, obviously, then you're going to be there anyway. So, and then there's some stuff going on before and going on afterwards. But as we get closer to the event, you know, we'll be announcing those things. But the big news is you can go in and buy your tickets now. You know, for Orlando. I think it's Orlando 20th through the 26th, 27th, Orlando. October 22nd through 28th, something like that. It's not the middle of the month; it's the end of the month. That was my biggest surprise to me. So that's all the news I have on the Orlando. So. Okay. Let me get you one here quickly. Let's see. All right, that's another good question. Can I get a meeting with the Team Certainty leaders in Orlando?
You know what? We're talking about, you know. Yeah, if you can schedule your time and let us know about the week prior to it, you know, yeah, I'd be more than happy to meet with somebody. I'm sure you would too, Mike. I mean, and Gary, you know, that energy's contagious when we get there, folks. So, you know, just be prepared to, you know, because we like sharing ideas with other team members and or welcoming new team members aboard. So please come on down to Orlando and. You know, we're more than happy to get together with you. I think that's without question. So, But here's one for you.
Okay.
This is for the old school people. Where can I buy the old-fashioned marketing CD with Empower Network on it?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. You know, that's obviously people have been watching the, our hangouts and catching some of Dave Wood's emails and stuff. And the only place you can really buy it is in your back office. You have to be a member, you know, or at least an affiliate, to get those CDs. And I think they range 50 cents to $2, depending on the amount of volume. I'm not particularly one that goes that route. I can see that, but I will say this though. One of the things that I want to chat with you about is this, program that I've done before, and I want to look into it as well. And it's the Every Door Direct Mail for that specific item. Actually, let me rephrase that. For that specific item and about 4 more different items. But we'll talk about that after this hangout. But the answer to the question is the only place you can buy the CD-ROM Fight the Forces of Evil, I think is what it is, which is the old traditional network marketing belly-to-belly type of recruiting, which is I'm getting great response from people that are using it actually. It's just not an area that I've ever, spent a whole lot of time in. But it's very effective from what I've been told. And the only place you can get it is in your back office. And that's what the buttons are for below. The buttons below this broadcast page you're watching right now will get you signed up. All you can spend is $25, and that'll get you to your back office. We'll get you signed up with Team Certainty and Empower Network. And with that, you can get your CD-ROM, those CD-ROMs you're asking for. I'm sure that viewer probably has already figured it out yet. Obviously, our support staff has answered that question, and they're on their way to, if they're not already a member, getting what they need. But it's interesting because if you're an old-fashioned, network marketing person and been successful at it, that's exactly what you're looking for. Where you can hand out these CD-ROMs and then 5 at a time and just close all 5 of those people, bring them all in, and get them going. While we're on that topic, we're gonna be talking on Wednesday, and we talked about this last Wednesday about the topic, and I think that's one of the questions on the board. So let me just wait till that gets asked, and then you might be able to answer it, Mr. Arnett and Richard. But we're going to start announcing the topics for Wednesday on these Saturday mornings, because we get that all the time. What's the topic for Wednesday? And I think people want to see, if it's a good topic they're interested in, they want to watch live. Otherwise they'll just kind of catch it on a replay or something. But anyway, answer to that person's question. The only place you can buy the old-fashioned CD-ROM promotion process of Empower Network is in your back office. For that, you have to be a member. And again, that's what the buttons are for below, and also the earnings disclaimer is below as well. So you need to go ahead and read that as well. Okay, let me get your question here, Mr. Iron Dane Richards. Let's see. Okay, here's one. Someone mentioned Team Certainty was going to hold an event around the Empower Network Orlando event. Is that true? Where and when will it be?
Oh, okay. We probably will. We haven't got it all settled on the time and the location, but I think we're planning on staying at the Hyatt, so it'll be pretty close to it. And whether it'll be a weekend before, or a couple nights before, or a couple nights after, or days, or whatever, yeah, we'll probably do something. It's in the works. We just haven't confirmed between ourselves on our schedules yet, folks. So just stay tuned, and we'll keep you informed on that. But it ought to be a lot of fun. I mean, it'd be a lot of fun to do our own little separate gig. But we can't do certain things at the event, as you know, because we don't want to break the rules of the spirit of Empower Network. We want to work within their guidelines, and so they deserve that. I mean, there's no question about that. And,
yeah.
But I was just thinking back on, you were talking about the CD deal. This is perfect for the people that came out of Herbalife or Amway that have been successful in that. I mean, it's the same kind of, following that same thread for them in essence. They should do really well with it. So
well, I think that I agree. And again, the Empower Network products are designed to help those types of other organizations grow and build their business, and so forth. There's a term within the direct marketing business or MLM business called a toolbox. And typically they're websites, membership sites that give you anything from an auto dialer to a email autoresponder to webinar, whatever. But it's a set of a toolbox, if you will. I mean, that's just the phrase they use, where you can utilize all of the tools, within the membership. ML Pro, I think there's a few of those out there like that will help you grow your business, whether it is Empower Network or Amway or Herbalife or whatever. But the reality of it is the Empower Network product suite in itself is a highly advanced toolbox, in my opinion, and it does the same thing or more. Now granted, there's no auto dialer in the back office of Empower Network. You'll never probably see one. It's not where Empower Network's going, but they'll tell you which ones are the good ones to use and where to get signed up with it. They have no interest in setting up an infrastructure. Hopefully they'll stay that way. They're more interested in giving you the knowledge on what's working and what's not working, the scripts to use, and maybe the right ones to go to. Because the information is more valuable, in my opinion, and hopefully theirs as well, than the actual infrastructure itself. And trying to stick the labor and manpower and everything else, and the labor and cost associated with operating something like that is more than significant versus versus them saying, hey, group A over here is the best one to go to. So let me just say Group A is the best one. It charges $10 for it, and then you can charge $10 and get the $10, and as unlimited, inventory and resale. So that's a philosophy of Empower Network. But the Empower Network suite of products help the newbie getting into Herbalife, as well as the long-term sponsor, that's in Herbalife right now. That has 1,000, 2,000 people in his downline. If he turns all those people onto the Empower Network products, not only is he making money with the Empower Network products and his down lines making money on Empower Network products, they're also really excelling in their Herbalife business, because applying the Empower Network product suite, to their business. Will only enhance and grow their business, whether it's Herbalife, OrganoGold, Isagenix, whatever you're marketing, or your shoe shop, But for the MLM group, direct sale group, and we're going to talk about that on Wednesday a little bit as well, because that has some mindset, stuff that we want to talk about. But anyway, long story short, that's all helping there. So, and your question about the event. How did you answer that one? About
we are planning. We haven't formalized it, but I think we probably will do something. A couple days prior or after the event, and it'll be an exclusive for pretty much. People can all come from different areas, but I mean we're kind of focused on our team members. So yeah, I mean we're going to cover different things besides the Empower Network, I'm sure too. We just haven't got our whole syllabus done yet, folks. So
well, we won't cover anything. We won't cover anything but Empower Network at the Empower Network event. If we elect to do something outside of the Empower Network event, it'll be outside of the Empower Network, time schedule and everything else. We're not going to, cross promote or do anything like that. It's not what Empower Network wants. So, the question to answer to the viewer is that are we going to do something? There at Empower Network, the most likely answer is yes, and it will be for new members, for prospective new members. The people that have joined that are in our team understand that we rely a lot on people to take action on their own behalf. Utilize the resources in the back office of the Team Certainty website, as well as the Empower Network product line in the back office of Empower Network. But new members need help and guidance in getting out and getting in there. Especially with this iPass 2 coming out too. So, I think that most likely that's what we'll probably be dealing with. There at Orlando, is showing the new members the value of the iPass 2, and prospective members too. And that's probably what we'll be wind up doing, is having a 4-hour seminar or a couple-day seminar about Empower Network, and the potential with Empower Network, what it can do, not only for people coming into it, but for also MLM powerhouse guys that want to look at how they can incorporate their Herbalife or whatever product into how Empower Network products can help them with that, and then also the iPass 2, how the iPass 2 will help with your Empower Network business strictly. So going there. Okay, let's see. I'm going to ask a couple questions here, and I'm going to answer these. We're getting to the bottom of the hour, and I just want to make sure we get through all of these, and then we'll have some comments, some other things you and I need to chat about, and we'll share that with the viewers here in just a minute. But the last question here, I think we got them all. Topic, hangout, yeah. The last question that came into from support this week that was pretty good, and believe it or not, we're getting numerous this question being asked once or twice at least a week now, and this viewer is asking and I don't know if this is a current member or new member or what, but this viewer is asking what is the first country that Team Certainty is going to visit in 2015. Now, for those of you that don't know, that are listening right now, viewers that are listening right now, one of the main goals of Team Certainty, is to travel, to new countries, and open up Empower Network, there. Now, I can tell you one country we're not going to go with. This is kind of funny, but we a few weeks ago we did a hangout, and I threw out the question, what's the one country we know we're not going to go to? And it's not America, and it's not Mexico, and it's not Canada. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
yeah. It's Portugal. Because there's such a big group in Portugal right now. Rashkin and his group up there have I won't go as far as say corner that market, but look, there's we wish them the very best, and if we can help them any way we can, we'll. But look, they don't need any help. They're doing very well, and that country's theirs. Yeah, honestly, it's a great example. Just to, if you can do that in any country, watch them exactly what they're doing. I really like the way that guy. He's kind of hard to listen to at times. I forget his name. He's talked a few times. That he's a guy that's running that deal in Orlando. The interesting thing about him, though, is that when he got started, there's, he got started, well over a year ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago. And there's people in his downline right now that are way past him in money earnings, downline. I mean, bigger than him, and he approaches it a little bit differently. He approaches it with, as a team, as a team deal. I mean, we do it as a team, but the recruitment process and the sale process as a team. And I think it's great. If they, and it's just a different philosophy and different approach. In his neck of the woods, so to speak. Thousands and thousands and thousands of miles and different culture away from ours. That's what works with his group. And in Portugal, and he's pretty much cornered the market. And those guys have a lot of fun. Well, those guys are very very vocal, very loud, and loud and proud. And it's really kind of good to watch. Anyway, but to answer the question the viewer is asking, what is the first country that Team Certainty is going to go to? We actually don't know yet, and we haven't decided. But it's going to be the end of the first quarter of 2015. We're going to put together a group, and it's going to be open for people, anybody that wants to come. Obviously you have to be a member of Team Certainty and Empower Network, and we're going to travel to a country. And stay there for 2 or 3 weeks, and at a time, and build a network, a nucleus, and light a fire, and stoke that fire, and then do the hangouts, from there, and invite people from the hangouts to join us, and then they're going to go on their own, and grow that whole region. Then we're going to go to another country, and do that same thing. That's the goal of us leaders, here at Team Certainty, and that's just what we've chosen to do because that's what we all like to do. We work for ourselves. We like to travel. We've been around the block for seasons, professionals, and we know the price to pay and know what it's going to take to be successful in those arenas. So it's going to be interesting where we go. I personally, for me, if I had to choose, I'd say Uruguay. It's a country I've never been to. But I think that they, there's enough English-speaking people down there, and it's civilized enough to where it's people will embrace Empower Network there, and you find some really good professional people down there that will move quick. Now Argentina, I don't know. We'll have to look at what's going on there. Obviously with their activities going right now, the defaulting of stuff. But I don't think that'll affect much. But and it's not it's not an easy trip down to Uruguay either. It's a drive. It's a flight. But yeah. But we'll see what happens. But anyway, answer the question to the viewer is asking is, has the country been picked out yet? No, we have not. And most likely what we'll do is, and we'll discuss this in Orlando, but it's going to be a process of determining where we're going to go. And the people that are going to decide, obviously, the people that are going to go. So we're going to figure out who's going to go first or who has interest in going. Then we'll determine, probably a handful, 5, 10, 15 countries. Then we'll all vote. Each one man, one vote. And then we'll narrow it down to about 2 or 3 or 4, maybe at the very most. And cost will be associated with it as well, and we'll determine that. And so we'll have a good feel of that. And then we'll pick 2 or 3, and then we'll vote one last time. And then we'll know which one we're going to go to. So, but there's a lot of demographics and other things that you have to look into besides, and you make the right choice. I've learned over the years how to do things like this, and I've learned the hard way, And I got a great, real quick story I'll say here, and then we can kind of shut off. I had this real estate program. I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, Mr. Andy and Richards. I had this real estate program in the late '90s and turn of the century that I had mastered, and it was unbelievably good. I would buy an acre of land for $28. I could buy an acre of land for $28 in far west Texas. I had to buy a bunch of it, but my price was $28. I would buy that land for $28, and I would sell it for about $32,000 per acre. And yeah, and it was worth it. It was worth it to the buyers because they were foreign nationals. And they got into the system. They got into the system. We as Americans went out of the system. If you're foreign national, you went into the system, the health care and all the other stuff that you get when you're a taxpayer, right? So anyway, you broke it down. I mean, it only cost them like $2,500, but you just do the math, you'll understand a lot that it was $2,500, $1,900, whatever. I can't remember what. So anyway, the problem was I targeted the wrong country. I was very successful at it as long as I blanketed the world. Did worldwide advertising. It was good. But I decided I wanted to target one country, and I got extremely. I mean, I'm not saying this to boast or anything. I'm just being factual about it. And I worked hard at it and spent a lot of money. And I got so good at this, I would send out these packages that basically said, you own this land. These guys would get this in the mail. They, in these foreign countries, they get this package in the mail, beautiful package, and it says, you now own this USA land. And the question is, how do you want to pay for it? Yeah, I mean, you own it. It's already yours. It's yours. But you have to pay for it, obviously. But it is yours, and it costs this amount. How do you want to pay for it? Because it was so cheap for me, I don't really care how they had to pay for it. And I gave them options of A, B, C, D, and E and how to pay for it. And they got to pick, right? But it was a beautiful package, pictures, credit cards, whole 9 yards, everything else. The most important thing was the book that came along with it. They gave them all the benefits of being a real estate owner. You had to own it full and clear. I mean, you did own it full and clear, and that was a huge advantage to foreign. Anyway, to make a long story short, pat myself too much on the back on this thing, but the problem with it was I targeted the wrong country. Now I'm not going to tell you the country because people might get upset when I say this country. But the problem was everybody in this country wanted it, but they couldn't pay for it. That was the problem. Everybody in that country wanted it, and but they couldn't pay for it. And the country's not too much of a poor country. I mean, the country has money, but it's about middle of the road. But I had a tremendous response, but nobody could pay for it. Very few people could pay for it, and it just didn't work out well. And I had to shut it down. I got onto other things and making a whole bunch of money doing other things, but that was actually a lot of but I learned my lesson on that. So when we pick a country to go and visit, look, I'll make sure it, for my sake and the team's sake and all the members' sake that are going to attend, it's going to be a winner. And that I will be certain, for. So anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this up. It's a little bit past. I wanted to keep it to a half an hour, but do you have any closing comments, Mr. Arden Richards? This is a kind of casual, Saturday deal. So anything you want to share with the viewers?
I'm just going to tell everybody keep on, keep focused on where you're going, and we hope you're going to make it down there to Orlando, and don't give up on your dream. Yeah. Just like Henry Ford said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And so that's what I'm going to leave all you folks with today is just keep focused and keep visiting us, keep checking in back at the back office. If you're a team member, keep going back to the back office every week, a couple times a week. So, but that's about it,
Okay, good. Well, yeah, we'll have many more hangouts before, the Orlando event, but I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun, and we are going to do some good things there, for people, and I expect to have a big crowd there too, because we're going to do quite a bit of marketing, for new members, and hopefully, well, we do expect quite a few to be there, so and bring a big group there.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you, viewers, for checking in with us this Saturday morning here in the States. Like I say every time, we do these Google Hangouts twice a week, Saturday mornings from this time period from 11 to 11:30. It's a questions and answer period. That's the tab on the side of the page over here, broadcast page you're watching this on. Click that tab, and you will get a box open up and just punch in your question. Any question about Empower Network, Team Certainty, or any one of the Team Certainty leaders here, and support will get that answered, and then they'll send that ticket to us, a question to us, that we get to answer here on these Saturday mornings if they deem it appropriate. And we also do the Google Hangouts for prospective new members Wednesday nights from 8 to 9 Central Time, and that's when we'll be back. And did we talk about the topic tonight at all for Wednesday?
Oh, Wednesday you wanted to? No, we didn't do it today, but Wednesday you're going to go back to the mindset thing, right?
Right. Oh yeah, right. So yeah, that'll be a good one because there's a lot of really good stuff I can add and bring. And I don't know if we'll have another video to watch or audio to listen to, but it's the mindset of abundance. And it has specific angles towards the current economy that we're living in now, and it's going to be a great hangout. So try and get back to us, see us this coming Wednesday. I guess that'll be August 4th or 5th or something like that. And
it'll be on the 6th.
The 6th, August 6th, Wednesday, August 6th. And and our topic will be the mindset of abundance. And there's some tactics that I use. I'm going to share, and that deal specifically with this economy, and they're very good. They're very good. They're very effective. It's unlimited wealth, unlimited time. And when you're dealing with Empower Network with unlimited inventory, I mean, it just kind of matches right together. And but with that mindset and understanding, the economics of scale, when people don't have jobs, that's a great thing. But you have to understand why. A displaced worker, that gets laid off is not a bad thing as long as you understand that there's always a job for that person, always a job for that person. And there's going to be so much wealth that's going to change hands in the next 10 to 20 years, here in the United States. You think the United States is wealthy now? You just wait 20 years from now and see where it's going to be. It's going to be unbelievable, the amount of wealth that's going to be developed in the next 20 years. And it's due to technology. It's pure and simple technology. So anyway, thank you, viewers. Thank you, Mr. Iron Dame Richard. I appreciate it. Thanks for everything, and we'll see everybody back on Wednesday the 6th. And thanks for taking the time for checking in with us today, whether you're watching this live or on replay. Thank you for taking the time to check in with us today, and everyone have a great weekend. Football season starts tomorrow here in the United States, and so Gary Smith, that's probably what he's doing right now. He's probably Gary Smith is, got his football paper in front of him and studying football. So wish him the best of luck, and we'll see him on Wednesday as well. So anyway, everyone have a great weekend, and we'll see you back on Wednesday night. Take care.